Finally. Okay, good morning anyone who is up this early in the morning on what apparently is a Saturday. I'm in Leeds. First time I've been to Leeds for about 3 years. I've come to lend my support to a number of the groups in the area that have combined to create a 12-hour Cube of Truth. In Leeds. We've been here since 8 o'clock this morning. Hi Pascal, hi Lisa. Yep, so we've been here from 8 o'clock this morning and we started with a cube of 8. We're now up to a cube of 9. Hello Jenny, hi Karina. There's a lot of outreachers here, as you can see. Conversations are going on. It's quite busy. Fortunately we're undercover. It has been raining. It looks as though it's raining a little bit. Hi Angela, hi Jane, hi Tom. And already we've had quite a few good conversations with people. There have been a number of us have travelled to Leeds from different parts. I've obviously come up from the south coast. The amazing Connor Anderson is here. He travelled up overnight last night by coach, got to Leeds at 5:30 this morning. He's going back tonight. Last night before he came up here, he did a Cube of Truth, an Earthlings experience in Havering, I think. When he gets back tomorrow morning, he's going to have a few hours kip and then he's doing a Cube of Truth in Romford. Hi Michael, hi Vicky. I have a friend over here, Lucy. She travelled up last night. She's in having a conversation with someone. She travelled up last night to stay with my friend over there in the green jacket, Lloyd. So let's go and have a chat with Lloyd and Laura, one of the organisers of this event. Do you want to introduce yourself, please? And
my name is Lloyd.
And where do you live, Lloyd?
I live in Leeds, but I'm from Bradford originally, so
okay.
Northern lad through and through, yeah.
And why are you here?
Here to take part in an honest Voiceless Cube of Truth, so just trying to educate the general public in terms of where animal products originate from before they see the end product in the store, so it's going well so far.
Is this the first time you've ever done one of these?
No, this is I've probably done about 8 or 9 in Leeds, and then scattered, done a couple in York, Manchester, been to London before, so I've probably done about 20 or going into the 20s in total over the last couple of years, yeah.
So you're pretty much an old hand at this thing?
Yeah,
okay.
Sadly,
I don't like using the word old hand, but you're quite experienced in this.
Yes, I like to think so.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming and speaking to me. Now we'll just move over to this young lady, Laura, with a
vegan falafel wrap.
Okay, and where did you get this?
Nero.
Hi, Lucy.
That's how easy it is.
And so you are one of the organisers here. Do you want to tell me which chapter you're from, please,
So
Lucy?
I do York.
Okay. So you and Lloyd know each other from York?
We know each other, yeah, from Leeds and York, and everyone kind of helps each other out in the Yorkshire area.
And can you tell me some of the other chapters that are involved in this particular event?
So we've got Ellie from Whitby, Ash of Huddersfield, Doncaster, Sheffield, yeah, Daniel, Carl's from Doncaster, isn't he? And then the other one.
Hi Peter.
Miguel and Leeds.
Okay, so that's what because when I opened up the feed,
yeah.
I actually stated that all the different organisers. Hi Michelle, all the different organisers from local area,
yeah.
the chapters
yeah.
came together to create this event. And what is the event today?
The 12-hour Cube of Truth. So the second one in the UK that's 12 hours.
So where was the first one?
London.
Oh yes, I know.
You were there.
I was on it. Yes.
I was not there at that one, so I'm making up for it now.
So yeah, we're and tell me a little bit more about what actually went into organising this, because it's not as easy as it seems, is it?
No, I mean, it's just basically making sure that you have the numbers to make the impact, because obviously it's a big thing, 12-hour cube, like you want it to have good impact, you want it to kind of reach as many people as possible. So that was really the main thing, just making sure we had enough people throughout the whole day, so it doesn't dip down at any point, and yeah, the impact remains strong, and it's been great. There's been so many people come today.
And one of the things from that obviously would be making sure that we share the resources, so that signs, the devices,
TVs
masks.
are amazing, yeah.
Exactly.
Quite a few of us have TVs now, so yeah, it's great to have that, because obviously it just makes the footage bigger and more accessible for people.
Hi, Tom.
Hello, Tom.
How many good conversations have you had so far?
I've had one so far. There's so many. There's actually so many activists. We almost need more people in the queue. Like, there's so many people available to talk to people.
Yeah. I mean, I've
really
noticed
good.
that.
It's a good thing in a way when you're finding it hard to talk to people.
Hi, Lauren. Yeah, I mean, I've noticed
so
that.
many around.
I'm fortunate that right from the word go, I had one really good conversation, and I've had sort of what I would consider 5 good conversations already. So that's fantastic. But as you said, when you look around at the number of people that are here, then we really do need. I see the cube has now gone up from 12 to 16, so that it means that that's going to attract more people.
Exactly.
And then it means that, and it could get bigger, and it's going to allow, obviously, because there will be more people that are coming here. I know one of my friends is coming. He's helping out with a Teesside cube this morning.
Right, okay.
And he's coming here this afternoon. So.
And it gets really busy. This area gets so busy, like lunchtime, like just after lunchtime. So we'll need more people, kind of ready to talk to people. But yeah, it's great whenever you're struggling, because in a way that means that there's more people than usual. Yeah. And yeah, you're reaching more people than you would have before. So.
And one of the things for me, I mentioned it when I opened up the feed, was that. Because obviously I do most of mine down in the south, and especially in London, there's nowhere for cover when it rains. But fortunately, we have this cover. So even though the weather isn't particularly good for us today, we have this cover, and this is something that infuriates me when people say, "Oh, but I can't go and do activism because of the weather." Well, let's think about the conditions that the animals that we're supposedly speaking up for experience.
Yeah, I mean, I remember in York doing it in winter, and it got to -6, and there was only 3 or 4 of us, but we still had, I think, our tally that day was 22, which is low for York, but 22 people is huge, and the fact that they were stopping at -6 just shows you they were taking it really seriously.
That to me, as you said, the fact that people are going to stop in those conditions, and I have this sort of perspective that if we show people that we're going to stand out in all sorts of weathers. I mean, we've been blessed this year with some really wonderful, hot, sunny days.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have to deal with both aspects. So when we show people that we're going to do this, we're actually showing our commitment that this is not something that we're just doing as a joke. So.
Yeah, because especially where we were in York, there was a restaurant right outside, and you could tell they were just looking at us like we were mad. But they were taking in the footage as well, because you're not going to do it for no reason, like you're doing it for a good reason and purpose. Yeah. And it's the least you can do, really.
Okay, thank you, Laura, and get back to eating your falafel. So, thank you. Yeah, so now as you can see that the cube is actually up to 16-man cube now, and I don't know, we're suddenly taking over this particular place. And as I mentioned, Connor's here all the way from deepest dark Raynham, Essex, and there he is in the middle of a conversation with a couple, talking to them about this. I'm just going to ask them.
What is it that's holding you back? Is there any particular very, very similar to Okay, so that's like a step in the right direction, isn't it? Are you aware of the reasons why we as vegans don't consume like fish, dairy, eggs, those kind of things?
I haven't done dairy for about 2 years.
Okay, that's good. But with fish, like...
should be okay. I'm getting there. It's a slow transition, but I am feeling right.
Hi Darko,
So I think
hi Asada.
it's more a case of like how rather than why. You understand the reasons why we do it. It's just a case of getting there. Now, have you ever heard of this link here? It's called vegan22.com. Because how this works is you sign up online. It's completely free, and you'll receive 22 days of free support. It's all adapted to suit you. So that's so it's things like vegan recipes, like product recommendations, that kind of thing. Because they say it takes 21 days to break a habit, so they give you all this free support to guide you through the first 22 days, and then from then onwards you'll then have you'll then be fully equipped to carry on from there. And it seems to me like if you're kind of on your way there already, I think you'll find it so much easier than you probably imagine. So let's give it. Yes, I think it's vegan. You're already vegan, so...
Yeah, I originally did it about 2 years ago. I kind of did it for health reasons.
Took it something's good.
And then I say about 6 months. But this time I killed
I mean, that's the way some people start, but maybe people sometimes start like via the health aspect. People plant-based for health, but then as they get more into it, they'll begin to understand the ethical side of things. They'll also begin to learn more about the environmental aspect and how animal agriculture is having such a detrimental impact on our planet. So that's definitely a way that some people go about it.
I found it really easy to go.
Yeah.
I didn't find it an issue at all.
Yeah.
But I also understand, having done it the first time, where it can be difficult.
Yeah, I suppose it's just like adapting to a new change. Same with anything, it can take some time to getting used to. It is about having the right guidance, the right support, which this website here obviously will provide. And there are lots of other things on here actually as well, different things. So would you like to say one, because there is plenty of information on here.
Can I just mention something there? Because as Connor was saying, one of the things is that we actually then if we start to understand food and our anatomy from a nutritional point of view rather than a diet point of view, and this is one of the things that this card has on it. It mentions Michael Greger's book, How Not to Die, and nutritionfacts.org. So this actually helps, and as you said, it is quite easy once you begin to understand.
I've been a yo-yo dieter all my life, so from young I've been, I've done a lot of weight issues, so this has been a really big improvement for me. Change in my lifestyle. I've been vegetarian for about 3.5 years of my life. Like I said earlier, I was vegan 3 years ago, but I did that for health reasons, dietary reasons, not for the reasons that I'm doing this time.
For ethical reasons.
Yeah, for ethical reasons and environmental reasons.
That's one of the points that I heard Connor saying. And I think it's actually important that we understand it from health perspective as well, because the healthier we become, then our mind becomes a lot clearer. So
it's a barrier for people, isn't it? I mean, it's like literally from day one you are actually told this is the thing that you're indoctrinated into it, aren't you?
Precisely.
But anything you can learn, you can unlearn. So yes, I know with some people it takes a lot more time than others, but I honestly believe that no matter how much conditioning you've gone through throughout your life, anyone is capable of seeing this footage, realising that it's wrong, realising that we cannot morally justify doing this to these animals, especially since we have no reason to be doing so. I mean, I know people that have been, I know someone in particular who's gone vegan, who recently went vegan in her mid-90s, so even 90 years of social conditioning just undone like that, when she saw what was happening to these animals. So I think, honestly, anyone is capable of making this change for sure.
I think what's happening now as well, isn't it, because of the growth in society as a whole, there's a lot more people, there's billions of us on this planet, is that they have to improve or speed up their farming processes in order to actually supply the meats to the consumers. And if they can't do that, they're trying to find the most difficult means possible to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing about the environmental side of things. Obviously, factory farming is a huge part of that. But the message we try to get across is that if it's not necessary to take their lives away from them, then rather than trying to find the right way to do it, we should if we can, why not try and keep evolving past like a stage of having to use animals, because I mean these days we have absolutely no need to be using animals for any purpose, whether it be for food, for clothing, for medical research. So we should keep evolving past this.
That's what we're doing. I've been involved with as well, because I've also joined a vegan group that is for zero waste, which Lisa's very passionate about. Obviously, if you have a transition, you still have those items of clothing that are, for example, I brought suede shoes on today. I bought those months ago. You know, you sort of question those things.
Hi, Bob.
That have done. You know, what do you do with these items?
Is that Zero Waste Vegans on Facebook?
It is, yes.
Okay.
So, so I think, from my point of view,
Hi, Sam.
there's two methods of doing it. You can either wear them, and then, to as well, I think I literally wear things till I feel them are red or worn out, the threadbare. Or you can donate to other people, can't you? You can give them or to charities or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting. These are vegan shoes, and I've had them for a couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm going to wear them until they literally have gone.
That's right. But I think that transition.
Buongiorno, Naomi.
These shoes now, in some ways, you do feel a little uncomfortable about it, especially coming here. But I made a point of doing it for today because I wanted to sort of not let people think that wearing these things is it's in a past tense, and it is unfortunate the way that these animals have died. But I don't want to discard them either.
Yeah.
Or just throw them away just because of my beliefs in making sure that animals don't die in the back of it.
From what I've heard you speaking with Connor, it seems to me like that you have taken these ethical concerns on, and this is what I was trying to say about when we do take it from a health perspective. The more healthy we become, our minds become a lot more healthy, and then we tend to think in more ethical perspectives anyway, not just about the animals, but about each other, and about the fact that we're all connected to each other.
I think education is very important, but I think what's very difficult, and I think this is why I've come down here today, is the method that we go about this. I think what is wrong sometimes is trying to force the situation on people. It's okay passing these on and trying to get people feeling comfortable about you must be a vegan, you must.
The thing is, we can't force anyone to do anything. All we're here to do is to provide the information, and what obviously people need to make the decision themselves. We can't force people to do anything. Well, I honestly believe that any reasonable person who is fully aware of what happens here, is fully aware also of the environmental implications and the health implications, will want to change. So I like to think that if somebody's reasonable enough, we don't even have to force it on them or anything like that, because
that's what I say. That's the reason why I've come down here today, because I think it is a very good way of doing it.
And one of the things that I understand what you say. It's like what I've got on my shirt. I can't force anyone to become vegan, but what I can do is make them aware of what they're supporting, and then it depends on their character as what they do with that information. Because when you look around, whether it's in the street or on the buses or in magazines or newspapers or radio, it's television, etc., etc., we're being bombarded with advertising that's forcing this.
It's a good thing to be eating the meat. So, I mean, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock tomorrow in Leeds, there's going to be another vegan event, if you're aware of it at all, that Adam's been organising.
Who's Adam? Who?
Well, I've not met him yet. There's a guy called Adam who I'm hoping to meet here this afternoon.
All right, okay.
And we're organising a free food event in Leeds where there's going to be a street kitchen, so people are going to be able to obviously taste some of the food and realise that you don't need the meat, but also similar to yourselves. I think he's going to be here to try and educate people as to why we shouldn't be doing the things that we're doing to these animals as well.
Thank you very much.
So I'll be there tomorrow as well. I'll be there to support this guy as well.
I mean, I'm back in London tomorrow, but I'm sure some of these guys will be there tomorrow as well. Definitely.
Yeah, and I'll be back on the south coast tomorrow. So we've come up especially to support this because it's a 12-hour event.
So what you do, I really am.
Hi Dee, hi Andrea, hi Jason.
So I've joined your group. I did that just about a week ago. So at some point I wonder who would be able to maybe contact me.
I just want to say thank you very much. Thank you. Thank
Nice
you.
speaking to you. You too. Yeah, I mean, if you've joined.
So, yes, just as I said, the amazing Connor Anderson is here. That guy is quite phenomenal in the amount of, pop-up cubes he arranges around different locations in London. Hello, Lloyd. Lloyd's actually watching this, and he's here on the event. Oh, you know, because I've interviewed him already, so I don't know where he is as he's watching this. But, yeah, so I mean, it's absolutely amazing to see Connor coming all of this way, having done an Earthlings in his neck of the woods last night, then coming up here overnight, doing this all 12 hours, going back down to London tomorrow, later on when it's finished tonight, and then going to go and do a cube in Romford. The man is incredible. His commitment to this is outstanding, and yeah, I'm just sort of like I'm just so thrilled to actually be here and taking part of this. As you can see now, there are a lot more conversations going on. It might be partly due to the fact that the cube has got bigger, and therefore people that are actually stopping and looking at what's going on. But as I say, I don't really care. I just think the fact that there are more and more people actually watching this, taking this footage on board, asking questions, and making the realization that using and exploiting animals for any purpose is no longer relevant to a changing world. And as you might have heard when Connor was speaking, it's about time we evolved out of all of our old ways of thinking. You know, evolution wasn't a one-off thing. It's a constant process. We're all evolving. And let me see if I can just have a quick chat with the two people here. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Megan. I've worked with you before in London.
Yes, I sort of recognise you. And so when did you get here? Hi, Ali.
About half an hour ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where do you live?
St Albans.
Pardon?
St Albans.
So you live in St Albans.
My
And
top.
oh yes, look, eat beans, not beings. And is there anyone else here that you know apart from me?
Connor. Everyone knows Connor.
And I've just been talking about Connor and all the amazing work that he
Like the
done.
best activist
So
ever.
is Connor the reason why you've come here today, or?
He's the one
as
that
well?
told me about it, but I would have come whether he was coming or not.
Okay, so how did you get here then?
I drove.
You drove. How long did it take you?
Well, I had to have a half an hour nap in between, but it took me about 4 hours, 5 hours.
Okay, so I take it you're really glad to be here.
Yeah, I am, yeah. I've already had
Okay.
a really good conversation with someone, so I'm pretty optimistic.
Any idea what time you're going back?
I'm staying till the end.
Okay, fantastic.
What about you?
I'm staying here for the end. I've been here since 8 o'clock. I'm going to do the whole lot like I did.
Where are you from?
I live in Eastbourne near Brighton.
Oh wow, so how did you get it?
I came up yesterday and I'm staying with Jeanette, who you were just talking with.
Oh, okay, awesome.
And then
Yeah,
I'm going
yeah.
back tomorrow. I've got a friend who lives in Bournemouth, Ali. She loves your top. She's just written on there. So
Yeah, I need to buy some more actually. I want to get a Dominion one. Have you seen that?
yeah, I've seen the
Quite
Dominion
shocking,
tops.
yeah.
I've seen Dominion.
I had to brace myself for a couple of months before I watched it, but
All right. Thanks, Megan, for taking part of this.
You're
Have some
welcome.
more good conversations.
I will.
Thank
Don't
you.
worry about that. Good luck with your filming.
Thank you.
It's about like
Here we go. Here's Laura again. She's having conversation. Hi, James, with a couple of people who are watching. This is a Spanish-speaking young man who comes from Madrid. I want him to introduce himself and tell you which organizer or which chapter he's the organizer for.
I'm Miguel, and I'm the lead organizer, so I'm the organizer from you.
Yeah, I was talking with Laura earlier about how the organisers from various different local chapters have come together in order to create this event.
So the Yorkshire cubes have come together. We did a 12-hour cube, so it's 12-hour long, and some of us are staying for the full 12 hours, so it's amazing, really big.
And what sort of, I know obviously that, and you know because I've done cubes elsewhere, that the purpose is to try and get people to say that they would seriously consider veganism after the conversation with them that we hope. Compared to the numbers that you might have had from a regular cube, how many are you hoping? What's your sort of hope for figure at the end of this?
The tally number?
Yeah.
So usually we get about, well, it varies from 60 people taking veganism seriously. Sometimes we go 111, I think is our record. So I think we'll get a lot of people. We've never had a 4-person cube inside, so it's going to be really big. And the meet is full of people. So hopefully we'll get at least 200, maybe 300.
That would be an amazing tally, wouldn't it?
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. Go vegan, guys.
Sí. Okay, gracias, Miguel.
Gracias, ciao. Bye.
Bye. So here, before I close, I'm just going to go right round the cube again and show you all of these amazing people who are stood in this cube, because I'm not able to do it. I have done it when the first one, but to stand in this cube and hold these devices and these signs in a stationary position, I can tell you takes a lot out of you. So every one of these people that is stood in this cube actually deserves an inordinate amount of gratitude from us, because without these people in the cube, then we wouldn't be able to do the outreach. The cube itself is fundamental in getting people to look at the footage so that we can engage in these meaningful conversations that hopefully will get them to become part of change and becoming vegan. So yeah, let me just show you some of them. Thank you, Dee. Thank you. It's all right. Thank you, Ali. And to you, I hope you're feeling okay. Hi, Jane. Yeah, this section of what's being shown here, guys, is obviously anyone who's vegan, they knows what's happening here. This is the chicks, the male chicks that have been separated. They're going to be ground up alive because they don't have any financial value to the industry. And it's amazing how many people don't realise what happens because we're not shown this. And it appalled me when I learned about what I was contributing to. So, as I said, you know, there it is, guys. And I had someone the other day when I was doing a cube in Covent Garden in London turn around to me and said that what was being shown on the screen was fake. Really? See, this is crabs being destroyed. You know, crabs and lobsters being boiled alive. How would we feel if we were put into the sort of temperatures that they experience? Totally needless. And the fact that people don't even realise what's happening, that's the thing that appalls me most. So we've seen chickens, crabs, here's pigs. So this exploitation of all other sentient beings, purely and simply because our species is willfully ignorant in most cases, apathetic, uncaring, yep. This is RSPCA assured for Lidl. You know, terminology like free range, grass-fed, locally sourced, organic, RSPCA assured, red tractor is all welfareist bollocks to try and convince the masses that the animals are being treated okay. Sorry guys, they're all going to be murdered regardless of how they are treated. Hi Ron. So I'm in West Yorkshire, and this is a slaughterhouse in Sheffield in South Yorkshire. So as I said, we've seen chicks, crabs, poultry, pigs, and now these amazing cows. I'm going to have to switch off because this got me quite annoyed actually. Thanks everyone who was watching. Bye.
I think the lights will be changing now, so I'm trying to make sure that everything's mixed up. So, yeah, I know you basically had it. I did a lot of protesting about that.
There we go. I switched the bloody phone off. Just as I've done it, who do I recognise who walks over and says, hello, please introduce yourself to me.
Hello, I'm Tim, currently the organiser of Brixton Cube. Come out here showing my support for my world's first 24-hour truth. A lot of other activists from all across the world doing the same thing. Fighting for animal rights, that's all we're here for. We're fighting for the one thing any sentient creature should have, is their right to their life. And we're fed up, basically. We're fed up of them being exploited, they're being used. It's completely unnecessary. We know we don't need them anymore. We know we don't need to eat animals to live healthy lives. We live healthier lives, actually, eat plants and vegetables. I feel much healthier for myself. So yeah, that's what everyone's doing. We're all very passionate. We're going to try and get this over with as quickly as possible.
And when did you get here, Tim?
I got here Tuesday. Came out a little bit early, did some sightseeing. I saw, went to East Side Gallery on Wednesday. Had a little walk around there, the graffiti and the street art. It's a lovely place. I've never been to Berlin. Highly recommend it. And then Tuesday, that was Wednesday. So Thursday morning we went out to a slaughterhouse a couple hours away from Berlin. About 160 other activists joined us, participated, very emotional, a lot of sad people. It just hits home when you go to these sort of places. The scale of and the cruelty of what these animals go through. Pigs just crammed to a truck. Their only existence was to be born into the worst conditions, and then once they got to the right size, they're crammed into a truck and off to the slaughterhouse they go for a meal that lasts 5 minutes. It's unjust, and like I said earlier, we want it to end. It's going to end. Like everyone knows, we can't sustain what we're doing. We're destroying the planet doing it. And then was it Thursday? Thursday evening there was a Yulin March festival. Basically almost highlighting Yulins everywhere. Everyone knows about the Yulin Dog Festival, Dog and Cat Festival. That's actually taking place at this moment in time. About 10,000 dogs, I think, slaughtered over the week.
Hello, Joanne. Hi, Ali. This is Tim, who's introduced himself. Good. Thank you for joining in on this. Tim, can you just sort of like, because a lot of people seem to think that veganism and animal rights is about food,
Right.
but can you tell me the other aspects of what veganism deals with?
I mean, veganism in a nutshell is basically respecting all life. If someone's causing you no harm, why cause them any harm? And basically that's what veganism means. It means just respecting all life. So therefore, you can't really be a vegan and consume animals, because every time we consume any product that consumes has any animal products in it.
So that would be clothing and and accessories, sport and entertainment,
exactly.
experimentation.
Testing,
you know, whether it's for drugs or whether it's for vanity purposes, for makeup.
Exactly. Yeah, none of the people here, all the almost maybe even 1,000 activists or vegans won't consume or won't wear any, won't eat.
But sport and entertainment, that's how we use them as well. The pet industry.
Yeah.
You know, when people buy pets that are bred into existence, what do they feed their pets?
I know, exactly.
They feed them the remains of the animals that humans won't eat. So,
horse riding, you know, we don't jump on animals' backs. We can't get their consent, and we don't really know if they like it or not. Who are we to say? And it's just another form of use. And animals aren't here for us to use. They're not objects, not commodities. They're sentient beings that deserve to just live out their lives, and that's what we do. We just respect their lives, basically.
I mean, and one aspect that quite a lot of people seem not to think about it is work. How we use animals for work. You know, there's guide dogs, there's sniffer dogs, whether it's for drugs or explosives. There's animals that get used as pack animals to carry burdens that humans wouldn't do. You know, and that's why I like the original definition of the word veganism by Donald Watson, because there's a little section in the middle where he says, by extension, we look for alternatives that benefit animals, humans, and the environment that mean that we don't use animals for any purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, as you said, I mean, because what we're looking at really is speciesism, and speciesism is the most violent of belief systems, because then it leads to racism and sexism, the idea that we can exploit other beings.
Worthling Ed put it very well, is if you raised a child and just taught them veganism from the get-go, you taught them to respect all species, respect a fish in the ocean, respect a chicken, you know, whatever the chicken's doing. If we can do that, but the child is going to respect a creature in the ocean, it's never going to interact with, ever. It's just going to transcend, and you're just going to respect all human life in general anyway. The idea of all of these things like racism, sexism, it's all taught. Speciesism, it's all taught to us. I like to think I was born vegan, and basically it took me 32 years to realise I wasn't in line with my actual vegan mentality. And this is what we're doing. I think the majority of people, everyone's a vegan at heart, and basically just educating them how to get there.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the things that when I'm doing outreach with people and I get that, but I'm a carnivore or I'm an omnivore, we were born carnivores, we were born omnivores. No, you weren't. You were taught to believe that. And this is where I always like to tell them about the comparative anatomy of eating, because it's not about opinion, then it's actually scientific observation of the complete anatomical biological structure of a carnivore, of an omnivore, of a herbivore, and then where we fit in amongst that. And actually, when you realise it and you look at our physiology, we're frugivores.
Exactly.
You know, people say, "Oh, I've got a sweet tooth." Yeah, well, the best sweet that you can get comes from fruits. No processed sugars. Strawberries, watermelons, mangoes, cherimoyas. And for those who haven't managed one yet, durians. Fucking got to try durians, people. Well, yeah, I know they stink, but they absolutely taste wonderful. There are so many fruits on this
I
planet.
read somewhere the other day, apparently there's 70,000 different types of edible plants, vegetation. I mean, people tend to think like the vegan diet is limited. No, it's probably the most versatile diet in the entire world. Like it seems the omnivore carnivore diet is very limited in what you can have.
That's what I want to say, because you get the stereotypical comments online, bacon or whatever, or where'd you get your protein from, and all of these things, and we've got the answers, and we provide it, and they still don't take it on board. But one of the worst for me is, well, isn't it boring? Well, then look at what we've got, what we can eat from the plant domain, and then you realise, no, actually, what you eat, apart from being unethical and unnecessary and unhealthy, it's actually so bloody boring.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah. I mean, the entire time I had my diet, my animal-based diet, for a very long time. I wish I watched some of these documentaries a lot earlier, because I would have become vegan a lot earlier. But yeah, my diet was very basic, very, very basic. Now, opened up, learned cooking a little bit more, just learned what I needed. And it's very versatile. It's colourful and it tastes amazing.
I mean, and that's one of the things when they talk, when they try and defend what they're doing, because that's basically what it is. It's not defending the fact that they like the taste of it or anything, it's defending an addiction, the cravings that salt, sugar and oil provide. Yet when you actually say to them, do you know what you actually taste? And then you tell them that it's all the additives that get used, it's all of the plants that get used, because you cook it in oil, that comes from a plant, whether it's vegetable oil, olive oil, that comes from a plant. Then there's all the herbs and the spices and the sauces, and what do you cook a lot of your sauces with? Tomatoes. So it's actually that. And yet, for me, trying to get them to understand that salt, sugar and oil has actually dulled their taste buds. They don't actually taste any food. When you get away from all of that, that's when you actually start to realise, wow, this cauliflower tastes wonderful, the broccoli tastes wonderful, the carrots, the beetroot, whatever. And then you've got to think about, and why didn't we like it? Vegetables, because in many cases our parents, or I don't want to be sexist, but invariably it was my age, my generation, it would have been my mother, they cooked the fucking living daylights out of them. There was nothing there. Anyway, thank you, Tim.
You're welcome.
I'm really pleased that you took the time to have this conversation with me, because it was important, not just about the activism, but sharing a bit of knowledge with people as well. So thank you. I'll see you later.
Yeah, definitely. Cheers, man.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you. Bye.
I don't know about London. I think London is going to be, it's a little bit difficult because of the culture, because of the...
It's a lot more open-minded, I'd say.
Yeah, because of the education now. We are vegan. For one of the most practical things. We have like 140 positive conversations on average from October to now. We're passionate about it.
Hello, I was going to say, the way that you looked at me is as almost you recognised me from somewhere. Do I know you?
I do.
Yeah. No, I've never met you in Berlin. Occasionally in London, but how's it going, Brad?
Good, mate.
What time did you get here?
Well, I've been here since Wednesday.
Wednesday, so you've done other events as well?
Yeah, we had a vigil yesterday morning. So.
This is going up live, so
Okay, that's fine.
I don't often do this, but this is such a big event, 96 in that one,
Is there really?
84 in that one.
Yeah, it's quite a spectacle.
Yeah, I mean...
So what, we've been going for nearly 2 hours?
Yeah, but
nearly 2 hours. 22 to go.
I've only got here in the last quarter of an hour.
Okay.
So it's been a long journey.
Yeah. You got the train?
I got the train. Set off from Eastbourne at 4 yesterday afternoon. St Pancras at 7:30. Got into Brussels about 10:30 Europe mainland time.
Right. Did you have a chance to get some sleep?
I had about a couple of hours. It was crap.
maybe not doing the full 24?
Yeah, I'm going to try. Yeah. I mean, I've got an Airbnb sorted out, but I want to try and do as much of it as possible. It's not often this happens, is it? And you want to, you know, I feel a bit.
Come all this way.
Yeah, I feel a bit guilty sloping off to go and sleep somewhere. I mean, if I do, I can just do it here.
Yeah. I don't think you'll be the only one.
No. So who have you seen that you know from the UK?
I've seen Jeremy from Brighton. We've got Chloe, Dean from Liverpool, Lance from Birmingham with Kat, James and Laura from Norwich. So quite
You seen Daniel?
Daniel.
Krebs?
No, I haven't seen Krebsy.
There he is, he's over there.
Oh yeah.
What about Karina?
Yes, and Karina and
Oh,
Angel.
she is here.
They're here. I think they've gone to get a coffee because they just landed this morning as well. But yeah, it was a hectic start. There's a certain amount of people, but it's settled now.
And do you want to have
Tim's here from Brixton as well.
Who? Tim? Oh yeah. I knew he was coming. I haven't seen him yet. As I said,
He's in the cube over there.
There's going to be so many people behind masks, and you know, I'm going to get to see them at some point. So, do you want to put an advert out for the next cube in London and say, come on, guys, let's have something like this in Leicester Square?
It's not going to be quite like this on our next cube, but that is Friday 29th of June. Actually, the first cube in Leicester Square that's going to be during the week. So Friday early evening, 6 till 9 roughly. Leicester Square, usual spot. We'll get the TVs out, so see you down there.
And when will the next Saturday one be?
One after the next Saturday will be 21st of July. We've got one on Sunday the 8th as well. We're going to go for 3 cubes in July.
Okay, well,
for lost time.
I'm going to be there on Friday. Then the following week, I think I'm off to Cardiff for their animal rights, the Wales Animal Rights March. So,
Cardiff, we've actually just kick-started their chapter with the new organiser, so hopefully they'll be happy.
That somewhere, but I don't want to say too much on here, so because I try and stay away from all the political shit that goes on. You know what I'm like. But. So we've got quite. Oh, there's someone called Sardar Burzo is watching this. Single issue Sardar. Whoa, hello Sardar, and we've made that public for you. Everyone knows now what to call you. SIC Sardar Burzo. We're only kidding, Sardar. Yeah, and I won't say it too loud, I'm not either. Thanks, Brad. Have a good one.
You too.
Is there somewhere where I can put these? Because I can't carry this around all the time.
I think behind the left white van, there's a bit of bag storage.
Thanks, Brad. Okay, well, I've got to go now because I don't often do all of this. Thanks for watching, and please, everyone, will you share this to your own page? Show people just how big this event is. Look at it. There's a cube over there. Don't exactly know how many are in that one yet, but this one over there where I'm looking at has 84 in it, and this one has 96. So that's 180 in just these 2 cubes. And over there, let's say it's, I don't know, another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say there's 12 in it, so that's another 48. So that's something like 238. Plus, then there's all of the outreaches. You know, this is literally huge. So please sharing. S-I-S. Ah, you can't even spell Sardar. It's S-I-C, not S-I-S. Thank you, Sardar. Thanks, Sadie. Yeah, please share this to your own pages so that people would see the enormity of this. And you think this is going to go on for 24 hours. You know, the amount of conversations that the outreachers are going to have is going to be phenomenal. So if you share this to your page, all those fucking carnist bastards are going to see this. Oh, that was a bit rude, wasn't it? And a bit rough on them, but this is immense. So I'll catch up with you later. And here's another face I recognise from the UK. So tell me who you are, or tell everyone who you are.
Okay, so I'm Laura Ellen. You can find me on Facebook at Laura Ellen. And I was living in London, but I've just actually moved to Norwich to be in the Norwich chapter for AB. I was quite involved in the London chapter of AB, just kind of, again, just doing cubes. I wasn't organising anything. and we're just here in Berlin with, again, quite a lot of people from London that we all recognise, just doing the Cube here. So there's about 1,000 people here at the minute, and I think it will be the most now, which it will drop down throughout the day, but yeah, it's really busy.
Why do you think it's going to drop down? I mean,
because I think everyone's going to come for the start. I already see people sat down, but I think at the moment it's going really strong. Obviously throughout the night it's definitely going to drop down.
Oh,
People are going to want to sleep. Me personally, I'm not staying for the whole 24 hours, but I'm going to try and cut my sleep down to as little as I can to be good as an activist, and then come back tomorrow morning fresh.
I'm not able to, obviously because I've only just got here, is that I won't be able to do the hours because of arrival time. But I did the whole 12 hours in the one in Leicester Square, so I'm hoping to do as much as I can of this one. Yeah, I've got somewhere, well, it's not too close, it's not too far away on the S-Bahn, Pankow or Wienerstrasse, but I've got to go and dump my stuff somewhere. I mean, I can leave it over here, but...
Yeah, they've got people watching bags.
Okay, so I think I might leave it there and then actually get on and do some
There's actually a
activism.
vegan fair happening just up there over this weekend. A lady, a vegan lady I've just spoken to who wants to join in. I said, we're here for 24 hours so you can go home and join in tomorrow if you like. And she's going to. She said there's a vegan fair just up there, the Green Fair. It's called the Green Fair.
Okay.
And it's, she didn't say it's all vegan, but it's mostly vegan, and loads of food crafts, everything. So that would be a really nice place for people to go, I think.
Do you want to tell people what's happening after the Cube is finished tomorrow?
Okay, so after the Cube's finished tomorrow, we're actually all going to march through Berlin. So I think most people will be coming to the march, so there's about 1,000 of us. We're going to march silently through Berlin. So we're going to wear these masks, we're going to march silently, and we're going to be holding signs. So hopefully that will display a really clear message. We're not going to speak to anybody. We're going to march silently to another part of Berlin. I can't remember the name. Square we're marching to next.
Potsdamplatz.
So we're marching there, and then we are all going to have a sleep, and then the next day we're all going to meet up and kind of have a social, so we can all do our work here, help the animals, and help people as well. We're going to help people see what they've been contributing to for so long, and hopefully they can come and join us at some point. And then we're all going to go be social and enjoy the fact that we are among so many great activists. And just be together. There's a real feel of togetherness here. So many people have travelled from around the world. We're just all here together, just doing what we love. Just volunteering. We're not here, we're not being paid. We're just here because we know it's important and we want to help the animals and other people. So,
it's interesting because, as I said, I've only been here for about half an hour, and then 2 hours after the march finishes tomorrow, I'm on.
Are you off?
I'm back on the train.
Are you?
And I want to excuse me. I think we met at in Nottinghamshire last year, didn't we?
Sorry?
Did we not meet somewhere?
Yeah, we met in London and then
Vegan Camp Out. Yes. Would you like to introduce yourself? This is going out live on Facebook. Thanks, Laura.
My name is Jezebel and I'm from Germany. And what else?
So where do you live in Berlin?
No, I don't live in Berlin. I live in like 2 hours from Cologne.
Okay. So how did you get to Berlin from Cologne?
We drove here like with 6 people.
Okay.
By car.
And what do you think of this so far?
Amazing. Like,
isn't it amazing?
So many dedicated people fighting for the animals. Like, it's mind-blowing. So amazing.
I think it's fantastic that you see that this is really happening, because as you said, we met last year at Vegan Camp Out in Nottingham, and then in London, and now I've seen you here. This is where you live, and you probably wouldn't expect to see me here, but this is how it's happening. We're travelling because we know that we need to do this, and it shows that activists are getting together. I believe that activists from 40 different countries are travelling here for this event. So it really is going to be a powerful message for the animals that we're speaking up for. It's lovely to see you again.
You too.
Thank you. Bye. Yeah, I can't believe the amount of people here that I've already met and recognised in such a short space of time. Okay, so here I am again. Unfortunately, you've just missed an amazing song by the guy who's in the cube, inside the cube there. I've counted around the cube, and it's strange because it's not exactly cube shaped in conformity of numbers on each side. One side had 36, another had 42, another had 37, and another had 41. So it's a total of 156 people in this cube this morning. Hi Connor. So that's some cube. 156 people, and there seem to be more people going in it. Hi Mandeep. As I said, there's a guy in there actually playing guitar now, and there was one of the cube, the outreachers. She was crying because of the song. Oh fuck! How have I managed to turn it round on me? Hi Mandeep, I'm in Berlin. How the fuck do I turn this around? Oh shit. Not me on it. Glendis.